Sometimes you bring something up that matters to you. And at first the conversation seems calm. They may respond in a way that feels open, maybe even understanding. For a moment it feels like things might actually be clear. But then something shifts. Their tone changes. Their response becomes shorter, or the direction of the conversation starts to move away from what you said, and suddenly it doesn't feel the same anymore. So you adjust. You try to bring it back. You explain it again. You try to stay calm so it doesn't escalate, but the interaction no longer feels steady. You may recognize the moment when the conversation starts to feel inconsistent, and you may notice yourself trying to figure out which version of the conversation you're actually in. Over time, this can start to feel confusing, because what felt clear a moment ago no longer feels stable. This is where the pattern begins to form. When responses shift like this, the interaction becomes harder to follow, because you're not only responding to what is being said, you're also trying to adjust to how it's being said. And that can change from moment to moment. For them, this can become useful, because if the tone keeps shifting, the conversation may never fully settle, and when a conversation doesn't settle, it can become harder to stay focused on the original concern. In some situations, people who study relational behavior sometimes describe this as a narcissistic communication pattern when it happens repeatedly, because over time, the interaction begins to center around the changing response, while your effort goes into trying to keep things consistent. If this happens once, it may just be a stressful conversation, but when it keeps happening, some people begin to recognize a pattern. In healthy conversations, the tone stays steady enough for both people to understand each other. There is room to explain, and the direction of the conversation doesn't keep shifting unexpectedly. But in this pattern, the inconsistency itself becomes part of the interaction. Many people respond by trying to adjust. They try to match the tone. They try to keep things calm. They try to bring the conversation back to clarity. But the more the tone changes, the more effort it can take just to stay grounded in what was originally said. Recognizing this can bring a sense of clarity because it helps explain why the conversation feels confusing, even when you've tried to approach it calmly. And it helps you see that the confusion may not be coming from what you said, but from how the interaction keeps shifting. If something feels inconsistent from moment to moment, it can be difficult to find a clear place to stand, and that alone can create a sense of uncertainty. If this helped put words to your experience, like the video and subscribe to the channel. This channel exists to help you recognize narcissistic and manipulative patterns calmly, clearly, and without blame, so you can trust yourself again. And when conversations feel inconsistent like this, another pattern often begins to form. In the next video, we're going to explain why you may start to feel drained after contact and how that pattern builds over time. Click here to watch.